Colin?
There are really only like 3 things that I genuinely hate in the world. Okay, number 1 is this assault rifle, which fires bullets in 3-round bursts, but doesn't have a clip.
What you have there is not clips. These are mags.
I mean, it doesn't have a magazine that is divisible by 3. Pisses me off. Number 2 is Pete Campbell in season 1 of Mad Men. I hate this guy, man. You ain't him, bro. You think you're him, but trust me, you ain't him. And 3, AI Slop.
Welcome back to Slop Live.
I'm not a Luddite. I love when genuine technological progress is made to benefit humanity and art, but I genuinely don't see a scenario in which there are more pros to this technology than cons. I'm obviously more specifically talking about generative AI, which, to me personally, okay, honestly, genuinely, might be one of the worst things I've ever seen be bottled up, packaged, and shipped to the masses. It legitimately might be over, and it feels like there is nothing we can do about it. At its worst, there's something so distinctly unhuman about it to me that it always makes me kind of uncomfortable. Like my brain is just setting off the fight or flight response whenever I see an AI generated video or image. I'm still at a point in which I can confidently always tell what is real and what is AI, but it will not stay that way. When it comes to images, it's genuinely quite difficult. Video still has a while to go probably, but it's kind of gotten to the point now where I might see something that looks cool online, and now I have to question whether it's genuine or AI, and that pisses me off. And this is just my own feelings about it. Objectively, there are more cons to this technology, like AI psychosis being the genuine thing. Data centers are sucking up all the water and fucking up the environment to make actual unauthentic garbage. There's an 80% chance that Peter Thiel might be the Antichrist. The level of scams that will now be pushed to old people is just going to have detrimental consequences. If you thought that an old person falling for a scam before was funny, now it won't be, as I don't even think you can blame them anymore. Sloperators on Twitter lap this technology up about how it's going to take over Hollywood, but really can only just slopify pre-existing characters and scenes and make them worse. And probably the scariest thing about it is that the technology is getting better, and it's going to get better. It will be able to perfectly imitate, extrapolate, and generate almost anything.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
And there are only really like 3 scenarios in my mind about what the future will look like. Number 1, it takes over every field it can to cut down on budgets and increase profits, and then everyone just gets a basic universal income in order to live and sit inside and watch AI generated slop all day like the fat fucks from WALL-E. The second one is that we get so sick of it as a collective that the overwhelming majority of people reject it and we revert back to a more analog way of doing things. And the third is a pseudo-morphed reality of these 2 outcomes. But people will die, okay? People will get scammed and lose money. A generation of young men will be preyed upon to become AI goon goblins. A women's right to privacy will be violated by the goon goblins. The best, most reliable form of evidence, being photographical and video, is at risk of being completely useless. Jarvis, generate me a video of my judge committing the crime instead of me. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Goodman, really? You didn't recognize him either, Your Honor.
And it's got me thinking, who is this for exactly? What is the real benefit to this? And why is everyone lapping this up when it is so clearly going to lead to our destruction one day? Like, if anything was going to destroy society, it would be this. And it's making me furious, my brother. And this is how I imagine Carol feels in the new Apple TV Plus show Pluribus, created by Vince Gilligan.
It's Pluribin time.
Who you may know as the guy who made one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Twice. The word pluribus means from many. Under the Great Seal of the United States, e pluribus unum, which means out of many one. I know Latin because I was subscribed to Unus Annus for a year, so shut up. Pluribus is a show about a group of astronomers that detect a radio frequency from space that demonstrates a viral RNA sequence. And because some scientists managed to produce the sequence in a lab, a rat
You better Oh, God, oh shit. Oh.
fucks everything up and ends up causing a mass global infection in which your individual identity is destroyed and you now act as only a collective. Everyone infected shares the same memories, the same experiences, the same skills and attributes. When you speak with someone who is infected, you are essentially speaking to all 7.2 billion people on Earth that are infected. Why 7.2 billion and not 8 billion? Well, because during the main event, which led to everyone undergoing a mass psychosis and eventual joining, convulsing violently in the process, 800 million people died.
How many people died? 886 million.
Which is a brilliant but horrifying concept. Like, imagine one of your loved ones gets infected and becomes part of the hive mind, then shares the exact same memories as the black rectangles from the Epstein file. So everyone gets infected, except for Carol, who for some reason, her and 12 other people in the world are somehow immune to the virus. But most of the other survivors don't really care and have already accepted the new world that they were thrust into unwillingly.
Why does the world need saving? At present, the situation seems very nice.
Especially this guy, the schmuck. And Carol, who lost her partner in the initial joining, is grieving her loss and struggles to adapt, to change or accept it as a new reality.
Pets!
Which is essentially what the show is about.
It's Pluribus time.
A new revolution occurred and Carol was left behind to grieve the loss of the life she loved. But really, I think the parallels to the very new, drastic, and kind of scary AI revolution are the most obvious to me specifically, because to me and everyone else, it will probably be the most drastic technological revolution of this century. The hive mind acts and kind of gives off the same vibe as if you were talking to ChatGPT.
Soja, what is the square root of 46,279?
Just a bit over 215.
They know all the knowledge of all time ever made in history. They are available all day, every day, and you can do whatever you want after just one phone call.
I want a Gatorade. The red one.
Few moments later.
You can ask them anything and they will answer. They are nice and calm all the time and only speak with a pleasant demeanour, which I don't know if you ever tried to cyberbully ChatGPT, but the clanker will always be respectful and nice to you, which is frustrating because why doesn't it call me a slur back, man? They all have that fake HR smile. Ew, don't look at me like that, go away. This is the actual mayor of Albuquerque.
You're the fucking mayor.
Thank you for your vote.
They can never be mean to you. They never lie. They can't physically harm you. They eat the dead and turn it into milk for sustenance, as they do not kill or eat any animals or anything that is living, as it goes against their code. Why is there a floating carton of milk on the screen? They are purely benevolent and won't even harm a fly.
We just want you to be happy.
They are extremely organised and efficient and work in perfect synergy with each other. But none of it is real, none of it is human, and none of it is for the benefit of humanity, but something else. The alien virus just has one goal, which is to ethically infect as many people as possible and expand the hive mind to make everyone join and surrender their humanity. But they can't do it by force. To the 13 odd remaining humans who somehow were immune to the virus, the hive mind, who are extreme pacifists, cannot let the humans join without their consent, which creates a really interesting dynamic where there are 7 billion people who are all the exact same, are friendly, and wouldn't even harm a fly, trying to convince the remaining 13 real people on the planet to join them willingly, and will also obey every command given to them by a remaining human. Pluribus poses the question, what would you do in this situation? As multiple characters demonstrate real responses to a scenario like this. Some love it, some hate it, and others go about it with caution. But ultimately, it doesn't matter whether they are unable to physically or emotionally hurt you. The end goal of the many is for everyone to join them. I think a lot of the fun you can have with this show is watching Carol discover all of the ins and outs about how the hive mind works. She is constantly testing and pushing the boundaries to see what is and what is not acceptable. reveal what she can and can't do. One of the things you can't do is be mean to them, because the others, or the many, or whatever you want to call them, start convulsing violently. They simply cannot handle negative emotions. Like literally, some of them die even if you call them slurs or something. One of my favourite scenes in the whole show is when Carol wants to go grocery shopping, but it's empty because the others have removed and reallocated resources around the world for their own survival, which is another thing I find uncanny. They eat each other, much like how AI can only really do what it already has, not really create something that is genuinely new. But she calls the others and demands that they refill her local grocery store. And in like 45 minutes, hundreds of people work in perfect synergy and stock the entire store.
Carol, may we sneak past you here?
It looks like normal. They act like they are normal employees, but it's still deeply fake. It's just not the same. I think the reason why I like and connected so much to Pluribus is that, unlike a lot of other media that explores the idea of artificial intelligence, in this new era where it's no longer pure science fiction as seen in, say, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, Terminator, or 2001 A Space Odyssey, it is now reality. It's here, and it's here to stay most likely, but I mean, hopefully it's not going to end up being in the form of a robot or a hyper evil thing, never mind. But right now, it's just a kind of lame piece of technology, which just so happens to threaten jobs, art, and our privacy. So Pluribus is a genuinely refreshing exploration and doesn't feel like hack, because no longer is the vision of AI in the public in a physical form, but more so like a collective thing that you can access. It doesn't need to resort to shit you've seen before, but rather shit you are already familiar with in the real world. The emphasis here is on spending a lot of time with the characters as they test the grounds with this new and daunting change. So it also explores what if this technology went out unregulated or without proper rules and guidelines. Could you perhaps get access to information that normally shouldn't, like say, I don't know, a fucking hand grenade?
Like you would give me a real hand grenade.
Carol, if we may.
A few months ago, OpenAI were conducting trials and found that chatbots would willingly give you information on how to make explosives at home.
Did you know if you mixed equal parts of gasoline and frozen orange juice concentrate, you can make napalm?
No, I did not know that. Is that true?
That's right.
ChatGPT 4.1 also detailed how to weaponize anthrax. You know, ChatGPT uses nice language, but will potentially give you a detailed step-by-step plan on how to build a fucking nuclear warhead at home. Like how Carol asks the hive mind for a grenade and they just give her one. On the other hand, it's also the best thing to ever happen to lame loser nerds. Well, the entire world has gone through this drastic, catastrophic, overnight change. Hundreds of millions are dead. The remains being eaten.
They'll eat each other.
Everyone is infected by an alien virus and are forced to be HR employees, which is horrifying. This guy, on the other hand, is having the time of his life. Kumba is your average guy who thinks he is cool for getting AI to generate an image of himself in the Studio Ghibli style with a piss filter. He is the guy who would have an AI girlfriend. The guy has the Air Force One presidential plane as his personal private plane, but I think his entire character is perfectly represented in these two scenes that follow each other chronologically. The first one is a James Bond Casino Royale ripoff. You know, it's a remake of that famous poker scene, but it's almost laughably corny as he gets all of the others to be pawns to his hedonistic lifestyle. But here's the thing, this whole scene is just a brilliant allegory to AI generated video. All it can do is be a shittier remake of great stuff that came before, but I think it's the scene which comes after which is infinitely more illuminating, just in a more subtle way. You see, in the previous scene with the Casino Royale cosplay recreation, Kumba is enjoying himself, but in a more pleasurable type of way. It's more like he is just ticking off the bucket list of random bullshit he wants to fill his day with. It's pleasure, but it's not genuine fulfillment. You know, he's essentially a god now. He has slaves that can do his every bidding, cook any meal he wants to at a Michelin star level, travel anywhere at his free will, get any car, cornerly recreate any movie scene. But it's the next day when he makes breakfast for Carol and eats with her, copies the way she incorporates the egg, the bread, the bacon and the avocado avocado into a sandwich and eats it the way she does. And only then does he actually have genuine enjoyment. He doesn't outwardly say anything, but it's just the vibe I get from the scene. I mean, look at his face. He looks happy here, but here he looks smug, almost like he's forcing himself to love it. He found more enjoyment copying off an actual human after something he created than just recreating or mimicking his pleasures. Because it's in actually cooking the meal himself, having a taste of the hard thing, trying something new. This is what we yearn for, truly, and what AI gives the illusion of accomplishing. It's like Kennedy said.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
But the character that represents humanity at its most human, bare bones, stripped of anything but its natural wit, intelligence, and determination, is Manusis. He's in full-on Luddite mode, but he chooses to do the hard thing and not indulge in what would be the most convenient, at the time, easiest thing. Sometimes to his own detriment, like eating dog food instead of getting that nice Michelin star meal cooked by the hive mind that would share the same knowledge and experiences as Marco Pierre White, my man.
No, I didn't make Gordon Ramsay cry. He made himself cry. That was his choice to cry.
He could use the new tool given before him to just get a flight to go see Carol with the hive mind, but he says,
No pueden darme nada, porque todo lo que ustedes tienen es robado. Ustedes no pertenecen acá.
Everything burns.
Instead, he starts fixing a broken car, siphons the gas, starts learning English the old-fashioned way,
chases the grey cat,
waits for it to rain so he can drink, catches fish and cooks them himself, hikes through the fucking Amazon with a machete and gets stabbed by these fucking needle things. Also, he can reach the last person on the planet that told him to
Chinga tu madre, cabrón!
He's a very inspiring character. And the journey he goes on is one of the best sequences I've ever seen on television. He goes through all this because he truly believes he needs to save humanity. And he does so by embracing his own skills and tools rather than the slop people. But here's the thing though, the hive mind, it's not all bad when you think about it. They are extremely useful. It is peace on Earth. There will be no more wars, no more conflict, no more corruption. Everyone is one and one is everyone type shtick. It's utopian. And like ChatGPT and the other AI models, assuming there are no ethical or environmental concerns, much like how the hive mind in the show literally dig up and eat the dead to turn them into milk for sustenance, it's utopian, is it not? There are actually cases to be made that this technology can improve the lives of everyone. You know, I'd love it if a clanker could do my chores for me, or if AI could detect strokes, or spot tumours better. It will make our lives so easy where we don't have to do anything. It can literally do everything for you but better. So we can relax and work at McDonald's while all of the AI does all the fun stuff like make art and music and entertainment. I do think there is a case to be made that this technology is just a tool. It's both a tool that will cut down on production and budget time, but it's also a tool in which actual freaks can ask absolutely unhinged vile shit. What the fuck? But I do think everyone having access to this technology will have more negative ramifications than positive ones. I don't know, I'm just thinking realistically here. On a more meta level, a lot of events in the show are narratively, thematically, and visually rich with symbolism to the point where I'd even go as far to say that this is visually the best looking show in a hot minute. Man, I don't know what they're cooking over at Apple TV Plus, but Stranger Things 5 had a budget of this and ended up looking like this for like 80% of the season. And Apple TV Plus out here actually making their shows look better than most movies. I think the show is making a powerful statement for the current state of visual media and is essentially taking a look around at a lot of other shows and even movies and subtly telling them, hey, what the hell you doing? Time to step up your game. If AI is a genuine threat, it means that art itself must be that much more original, that much more visually interesting and creatively distinctive, and that much more human as a result, in order to distinguish itself from the ever, unfortunately, evolving slop.
Slop Live.
It means the analog way, the ways and artistic techniques that require hours and hours of fine attention to details and skill are the future. It's doing the hard thing that returns the true reward, not smacking in some prompts and pretending you have created something worthwhile. Shut up. Maybe one day, but right now, the ending of Season 1 of Pluribus offers a potential solution.
Carlos Turca. What is this?
Atom bomb.
Damn good television.